A very hard time for Central Texas.
State officials say without warning, the river rose 26 feet in 45 minutes.
An extreme, catastrophic, and just devastating flood event.
A desperate search for more than 20 missing girls from a summer camp after deadly flash floods in Central Texas.
Did you know that Texas is considered the most desirable state to live in for 2025? And when you look at the geography, it is easy to see why. The Gulf Coast offers warm breezes and endless ocean views. Towering river valleys cut through rolling plains. Vast deserts stretch under open skies. From cattle ranches to cutting-edge tech hubs, Texas has something for everyone. Texas is known for its freedom, traditional values, and unmatched independence. But behind this shining image lies something darker. Right now, Texas is being torn apart by one of the most devastating floods in its history. Entire towns are underwater. In one summer camp, dozens of young girls were caught in the flood as they slept, with cabins torn from the ground and carried downstream. It is the deadliest flood event Texas has seen in over 15 years. Scientists are already calculating the losses and asking difficult questions. Will this record-breaking rainfall trigger more sinkholes across the state? Or did a sudden storm awaken the mysterious cracks recently discovered on the Gulf floor? Could it expose hidden weaknesses in the land beneath Texas? In today's video, we are diving into the challenges that have shaped the Lone Star State. What is happening now may change Texas forever. Texas flood disaster. Texas has seen deadly floods before. The state has a long history of extreme rain events that hit without warning. In 2015, storms killed more than 30 people across central Texas. In 2018, historic floods swept away bridges in Llano County. In 2021, highways in Dallas turned into rivers overnight. These disasters keep happening. People are told to prepare, but the systems in place rarely hold. Experts blame outdated infrastructure and uncontrolled growth in flood-prone areas. But the truth is, when it rains like this, small towns are left exposed. And this time, it was the Guadalupe River that turned deadly. The river runs through the hill country where families fish, camp, and swim. It is a peaceful place, or at least it used to be. But one night this July, everything changed. After hours of silence, the skies opened up without warning. Thunder cracked, the rain fell hard, and within minutes the calm river became a deadly force. Water rushed over the banks and into streets, pulling entire vehicles downriver. Some were found miles away. Trees were ripped from the ground. Bodies were caught in branches. It all happened in the dark, with no time to run. Among the chaos stood a camp full of children. The rain did not stop. It kept falling hour after hour, growing stronger, heavier, and more dangerous. In some places, more than 10 inches fell in just a few hours. The Guadalupe rose by nearly 30 feet in less than an hour. That kind of surge does not leave time to evacuate. The death toll reached at least 25. Many of the victims were found in vehicles swept away by the flood. Others were discovered in trees and along the riverbanks. Some were children from the camp. Others were local residents who could not escape in time. It was one of the deadliest flood events in Texas in recent years. In the path of the water was Camp Mystic, a private Christian camp for girls. The camp sits near the river, with cabins spread across its banks. That night, more than 20 girls went missing. Some cabins were washed away before anyone inside could react. Survivors said they tried to grab onto trees and floating debris. But the current was too fast. Most of the media attention focused on that camp. But the truth is, they were not the only ones hit. Entire communities in Kerr and Kendall counties were submerged. Homes were lifted from their foundations. People escaped through windows. Local residents performed rescues using canoes, trucks, and their bare hands. No one waited for orders. Ordinary Texans did what they had to do. Federal help did not arrive in time. FEMA appeared days later, when the worst was already over. By then, most of the missing had already been found by neighbors, not by the government. This is what often happens in rural America. Residents save each other while officials show up late. The question is why people are still left to do it alone. Why were dams never reinforced after past floods? Where was the investment in river management and early warning systems? Why do disasters keep hitting rural, religious, and conservative areas the hardest? What makes the situation more frustrating is that advanced tools do exist. During Hurricane Helene in 2024, the federal government deployed Maven, a military-grade AI system. It was originally designed to help the U.S. Army identify battlefield threats. But during that storm, Maven was used to track flooding, power outages, and blocked roads in Florida. It gave FEMA and rescue teams a real-time map of conditions. They could see which neighborhoods were still cut off and where supplies were needed most. Emergency crews delivered aid more quickly and effectively. Officials even called it a new era of disaster response. But that technology did not reach Texas. Families in the Hill Country had no real-time updates, no drone-linked sensors, no data-fed dashboards, just rising water and a fight for survival. People are told it is just the weather, that floods are more common now because the climate is changing. But those explanations have become routine. What no one explains is why the same kind of flooding keeps destroying the same types of towns. There is no discussion about aging infrastructure or unfunded levees. No one explains why taxpayer money is sent overseas while families in Texas rebuild with no help. What happened here was not just a storm, it was a failure of priorities and planning. And this did not happen in isolation. Texas is under pressure from every side. The border is overwhelmed. The electric grid is unstable. Groundwater is vanishing. And now the rivers themselves are rising with deadly force. How long have you lived in Texas? Have you ever faced floods this severe? Share your experience in the comments. Downsides. No state is perfect, and Texas is no exception. While the Lone Star State offers a wide range of advantages, there are a few downsides that prospective residents, especially retirees, should consider. Fortunately, many of these challenges are being addressed thanks to strong local leadership and statewide initiatives. The summer heat in Texas is intense. In many areas, 100-degree days are common throughout July and August. For healthy adults, this is manageable with good air conditioning and planning. But for those with heat-sensitive conditions, the extreme weather can pose risks. In 2023, more than 300 Texans died from heat-related issues. Severe weather is also a consideration. Along the Gulf Coast, hurricanes remain a threat. Cities like Houston have invested heavily in flood control projects and are improving evacuation routes and emergency plans. The 2021 winter storm revealed vulnerabilities in the state's electric grid. Traffic congestion is a growing issue, especially in booming cities like Austin and Houston. Fast development has led to long commutes and urban sprawl. Public transit is limited, although new rail lines and toll roads are being added. Cities are also expanding trail systems for walking and biking. Property taxes are another consideration. Texas does not have a state income tax, but its local property taxes can be high. Cities, counties, and school districts rely on property levies to fund services. Rural healthcare access can be a concern if you are planning to live far from a metro area. While Texas cities have world-class hospitals, small towns may only offer basic clinics. The state is working to expand telemedicine and provide incentives for doctors to practice in rural regions. In emergencies, life flight services help close the gap. There are also minor lifestyle adjustments to consider. Insects, seasonal allergies, and air quality fluctuations in some metro areas may take some getting used to. That said, not all Texas cities are equally expensive. San Antonio, for example, has the lowest average cost of living among major cities in the state. From housing to groceries and healthcare, everyday expenses there are significantly more affordable than in places like Austin or Dallas. Finally, political and cultural differences may matter to some. Texas leans conservative, especially outside its big cities. That can be a plus for many, but those with different values might prefer areas like Austin or parts of Dallas where the atmosphere is more progressive. Every place has trade-offs, but in Texas, the downsides often come with solutions or at least options to work around them. Would you trade a little summer heat or property tax for no income tax and a larger home? Share in comments. The biggest state. Texas presents itself as a land of truly immense scale. Its vast territory covers approximately 268,596 square miles. This makes it larger than the entire country of France. It proudly holds the position of the second largest state in the United States. Only the expansive lands of Alaska cover more area. Texas also boasts the second largest population in the nation. The sheer size of Texas results in an incredible variety of landscapes. You will discover diverse climates across the state. In West Texas, dramatic deserts unfold before you. Here, resilient cacti stand tall against the arid backdrop. As you journey eastward, the scenery gradually transforms. Dense pine forests offer a cool and tranquil escape. The state also features gently rolling hills. Seemingly endless prairies stretch out towards the horizon. Surprisingly, Texas even offers beautiful beaches. These sandy shores line its extensive Gulf Coast. Destinations like Galveston Island await visitors. The vibrant beaches of South Padre Island also offer coastal adventures. Driving across this magnificent state is quite an experience. It can often take over 12 hours behind the wheel. This extensive travel time reinforces a common feeling. Many believe that Texas feels like a country within a country. It boasts a rich tapestry of terrains. Distinct regional cultures also thrive across the state. The climate in Texas is generally blessed with abundant sunshine. Warm temperatures prevail throughout much of the year. Winters are typically mild across the state. Sunny days are a common occurrence. This weather is perfect for enjoying outdoor activities. You can partake in these activities year-round. Consider invigorating hikes through scenic trails. Big Bend Ranch State Park offers such opportunities. The unique beauty of Caprock Canyon State Park also beckons. For those who love the beach, Texas delivers. You can enjoy leisurely days in the sun. Mustang Island State Park is a fantastic choice. Subscribe to our channel to help more people learn the truth about current events. And now, we move on. Sinkholes. Something strange is happening beneath the soil in Texas. The ground in some areas is slowly giving way, opening massive sinkholes that swallow roads, fields, and even homes. These are not small cracks. Some sinkholes are big enough to fit entire buildings, and they are not as rare as you might think. West Texas has become a hotspot for these underground collapses. Counties like Winkler and Ward have seen huge sinkholes open with no warning. In one case, 2 sinkholes formed just a mile apart. They keep growing, and scientists worry they could merge into one massive crater. Local residents call them the Wink Sinks, and they are a constant reminder that the ground underfoot is not always stable. What causes them? The answer lies in both geology and human activity. Much of Texas sits on soft rock layers like salt, gypsum, and limestone. These rocks slowly dissolve when exposed to water, leaving empty spaces underground. Over time, those spaces grow until the surface above can no longer hold. The result is a sudden collapse. But nature is only part of the story. People have been pumping water from underground aquifers for decades. When that water is removed, the pressure that once supported the soil disappears. On top of that, oil and gas drilling has left behind empty pockets and weakened rock layers. In some areas, companies have also injected wastewater deep into the earth, further increasing the risk of collapse. These sinkholes are not just in remote fields. They have appeared near highways, shopping centers, and even schools. One swallowed part of a high school football field. Another shut down a major road for months. Once the ground gives way, there is no way to fix it. Crews can only close off the area and wait. Geologists are working to identify danger zones, but predicting the exact location of a sinkhole remains nearly impossible. Areas with old wells or heavy groundwater loss are especially at risk. Droughts followed by sudden rainfall can also speed up the collapse process. Sinkholes are more than just property damage. They can break pipelines, collapse buildings, and endanger lives. What makes them so frightening is their silence. They form with no warning, no tremors, no sound. One moment the ground is firm, the next, it is gone. Texas is growing fast. More roads, homes, and pipelines are being built over unstable land. Without better monitoring, some experts fear the number of sinkholes will rise. And when they do, they will not care what is built above them. Have you seen a sinkhole in your area or heard of one nearby? Does the idea of the ground collapsing under your home concern you? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your experience. Expanding dead zone. For years, the Texas Gulf Coast has dealt with seasonal hypoxic zones. These are regions where oxygen levels drop so low that marine life can no longer survive. These dead zones usually form during the warmer months. Agricultural runoff rich in nutrients flows into the ocean and fuels large algae blooms. When the algae die, their decomposition consumes oxygen, leaving the water uninhabitable for fish and other species. But in 2025, scientists recorded a new and deeply concerning trend. The dead zones are becoming larger. They are lasting longer than before and are now shifting closer to the shoreline. Data gathered from autonomous underwater vehicles and satellite monitoring systems show that these low-oxygen zones are growing faster than ever recorded. In some cases, they now cover areas greater than 10,000 square kilometers. What is driving this surge in dead zone activity? The primary causes are rising ocean temperatures, increased fertilizer runoff, and more chaotic ocean currents. Warmer waters encourage rapid algae growth and speed up the breakdown of organic material. Meanwhile, unstable current patterns are moving oxygen-depleted water into areas that were once unaffected. The consequences are severe. Reports have confirmed mass die-offs of fish, crabs, and shrimp off the Texas coast. Thousands of animals have washed up dead on beaches and in shallow waters. Oyster beds are being buried under low-oxygen water. These reefs are not only essential for marine ecosystems, but also support a large part of the local economy. Fishing grounds once known for their abundance are now turning lifeless. Popular commercial and recreational fishing zones are suffering, and the long-term damage could be irreversible. Economists are warning that if the spread of dead zones is not brought under control, it could destroy Texas's multi-billion-dollar fishing and tourism industries. Seafood markets, charter fishing operations, and beach communities all depend on a healthy marine environment. That balance is now being threatened. Marine scientists are working urgently to test solutions. They are encouraging the creation of buffer zones along rivers to limit runoff from farms. In some locations, they are trying new oxygenation methods to improve water quality in key ecosystems. Still, meaningful progress will require much broader changes. Climate-related factors must be addressed, and agricultural practices along the Mississippi River and beyond will need reform. These expanding dead zones are a warning. The Gulf of America's ecosystem is in trouble, and time is running out to protect it. Our team needs your help. Subscribe to our channel to help more people learn the truth about current events. And now we move on. Quality of life. When choosing a place to live, quality of life matters just as much as cost. For many Americans, Texas checks a lot of the right boxes. It offers modern infrastructure, a warm climate, active communities, and plenty of space to enjoy life on your own terms. Texas is built for mobility. With wide highways and large interstates, getting around by car is easy. The Katy Freeway in Houston spans up to 26 lanes, and Dallas-Fort Worth has multiple ring roads to reduce congestion. While traffic does build up in cities like Austin and Houston, outside of rush hours, driving is smooth and reliable. For retirees who plan their errands during off-peak times, travel is usually simple and fast. Plus, parking is abundant almost everywhere. Safety is another key concern. Texas's overall violent crime rate is similar to the national average and lower than California's. Crime varies widely by neighborhood, but many suburban and rural areas are peaceful and safe. Cities like Plano and parts of Austin regularly rank among the safest large U.S. cities. Local law enforcement is visible and supported, and many communities have neighborhood watch programs. Climate is one of Texas's biggest draws. Winters are mild, with average December highs in the 60s in cities like Houston. You might wear shorts on Christmas. There's no snow to shovel, and most of the state enjoys long, sunny winters. The trade-off is the summer heat. July and August regularly hit the 90s or even over 100 degrees, especially in Central and South Texas. Air conditioning is essential, and outdoor activity is best kept to mornings or evenings during summer. Texas is also prone to extreme weather. The Gulf Coast faces hurricane risks, and North Texas sees occasional tornado warnings. Still, serious damage is rare for most residents, and infrastructure is improving. Since the 2021 power outage, the state has updated its energy grid and added new regulations to protect against future blackouts. One of Texas's greatest assets is its variety of natural landscapes. Whether you prefer pine forests in the east, desert mountains in the west, or rolling hills in the center, Texas offers scenery to match your lifestyle. There are 89 state parks, and retirees take full advantage of them. Fishing, birdwatching, golfing, and camping are all year-round possibilities. If the arts are more your style, Texas cities deliver. Houston has the second-largest theater district in the country. Dallas is home to world-class museums. Austin is famous for its live music scene. No matter your interests, there's plenty to explore without leaving the state. Would you trade freezing winters and tight living spaces for wide roads, warm winters, and plenty of elbow room? How important is climate? culture, or safety when choosing a place to live? Let us know in the comments. Seafloor fractures. Is it possible that the Texas coast is starting to pull itself apart? In late 2024, seismic studies in this area revealed widespread fractures beneath the Gulf, with some stretching across several miles. These are not small or harmless breaks. They are deep, widening fissures that suggest tectonic stress is steadily building beneath the ocean floor. Detailed sonar scans show that many of these cracks are linked together, forming a vast and unstable network that covers dozens of square miles. What makes the situation even more serious is their location. These fractures lie alarmingly close to critical offshore oil infrastructure, including pipelines, platforms, and storage systems that serve both the regional and national energy grid. If the ground suddenly shifts or gives way, it could damage or destroy these facilities. That would trigger environmental chaos and send economic shockwaves across the country. Scientists are especially concerned about the composition of the seabed. It consists mainly of soft clay and unstable silt, which seem to make the movement even worse. These materials have been seen gradually sliding into the gaps. This process causes the cracks to grow and could lead to a sudden chain reaction collapse. In some locations, the seafloor has already sunk by several feet in just a few months. Underwater vehicles and sonar equipment have recorded strange clouds of sediment rising from the cracks. These plumes are clear signs of slow but ongoing motion beneath the waves. Experts now believe that the fractures might eventually merge with deeper fault lines running along the Texas coast. That could set off large-scale structural changes on the seafloor, with unpredictable consequences. Adding to the concern, recent data has revealed strange seismic vibrations in the area. These small tremors are often warning signs that more powerful shifts could follow. Emergency teams are working closely with oil companies to set up pressure sensors and early warning systems as quickly as possible. With millions of people and essential infrastructure in potential danger, the cracks off Corpus Christi are no longer just a scientific puzzle. They are a growing threat that cannot be ignored. Our team needs your help. Subscribe to our channel to help more people learn the truth about current events. And now we move on. Migration and population growth. Texas is now the top destination for people relocating within the United States. In 2023, it officially surpassed Florida to become the #1 state for net population gains from migration. That year alone, about 612,000 people moved into Texas from other states, while around 478,000 moved out. This resulted in a net gain of roughly 134,000 new residents, not even counting those who arrived from abroad. The total population of Texas reached around 31.2 million in 2024. Most newcomers are coming from high-cost states. California alone sent about 94,000 people to Texas in 2023. New York, Florida, and Illinois are also major sources. Even though Florida gains many residents, nearly 50,000 Floridians moved to Texas that same year. Who exactly is moving to Texas? The average age of newcomers is around 32, based on recent studies. That means many are younger professionals or families with kids. Roughly 37% of new arrivals buy a home within their first year, a reflection of just how affordable Texas real estate remains. This signals long-term commitment, not just temporary relocation. Many buyers are escaping cramped living conditions in older cities and upgrading to spacious homes in Texas with yards and privacy. The cultural makeup of Texas continues to evolve. It's now one of the most diverse states in the country, with no ethnic majority. Roughly 40% of residents are white, another 40% are Hispanic, and the rest include growing Black and Asian communities. For older Americans, this means exposure to new traditions, events, and cuisines, along with strong community ties. Yet Texas maintains its unique identity. Whether you are from New York or California, you'll likely end up with a Texas flag on your porch within a year. Population growth has also helped boost property values, which is good news for homeowners. It brings an energy to communities that you can feel. New neighbors, vibrant local events, and a sense of possibility. Whether you're relocating for family, finances, or lifestyle, Texas is welcoming people from every corner of the country. What makes a place feel like home to you? Community, cost, or opportunity? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. The desert town of modern art. In the vast deserts of West Texas lies Marfa, one of America's most surprising towns. At first glance, it might appear to be just another small desert community. Yet Marfa has quietly become a globally renowned hub for contemporary art, attracting visitors from all over the world. Marfa's transformation began back in the 1970s. Influential minimalist artist Donald Judd was looking for wide-open spaces to showcase his large art installations. He fell in love with Marfa's unique desert landscape and purchased several buildings to create permanent exhibits. Over the following decades, other artists discovered Marfa's charm and followed Judd's footsteps. Soon, galleries, studios, and creative spaces began appearing throughout the town. This artistic revival turned Marfa into a cultural landmark, celebrated far beyond Texas. One of Marfa's most famous attractions is Prada Marfa. Created by artists Elmgreen and Dragset in 2005, it's a striking replica of a Prada store placed in the middle of the desert. Although no real shopping takes place here, visitors love photographing this surreal landmark. The town even found its way into mainstream culture, gaining widespread attention. Fans of the hit TV show Gossip Girl noticed a Prada Marfa sign hanging prominently in Lily Bass's upscale Manhattan apartment. The poster quickly became iconic, making Marfa recognizable to viewers around the globe. Marfa's vibrant atmosphere also draws thousands of visitors each year to unique events and festivals. One standout event is the Marfa Film Festival, which showcases indie films from around the world beneath the stunning Texas sky. Another major event is the Marfa Lights Festival, celebrating the mysterious glowing orbs often seen near town, a fascinating local phenomenon. Additionally, Marfa hosts the annual Chinati Weekend. During this event, visitors enjoy special art exhibits, talks, and performances at the Chinati Foundation, a museum dedicated to contemporary art founded by Donald Judd himself. These events attract an eclectic mix of filmmakers, artists, musicians, and visitors eager to experience Marfa's special energy firsthand. But Marfa is not just about events or famous installations. The town itself is filled with charming details that visitors adore, like stylish boutique hotels, cozy coffee shops, and unique restaurants serving both Texan classics and modern cuisine. It's this unexpected mix of culture and comfort that makes Marfa a one-of-a-kind destination. Now, we'd like your opinion. Would you make the trip to West Texas to experience Marfa's art scene for yourself? And why do you think such a small desert town became an artistic sensation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We're excited to read your responses. Texas Rangers. For many Americans, the first image that comes to mind when they hear Texas Ranger is Chuck Norris in a cowboy hat, delivering justice with a firm jaw and a steady hand. The television series Walker, Texas Ranger ran for nearly a decade and became a pop culture phenomenon. It was more than entertainment. It reminded viewers of a time when right and wrong felt simple, and justice came with boots and a badge. But the real Texas Rangers are more than television heroes. They are one of the oldest and most respected law enforcement agencies in the United States. Formed in 1835 before Texas was even a state, the Rangers began as a small group protecting settlers on the frontier. They had little formal training, but a strong will to defend their people. In the early days, their missions were dangerous, and their methods were direct. Over the years, the Rangers evolved from frontier scouts to professional investigators. They chased outlaws, protected governors, and handled cases too complex for local sheriffs. Their reputation grew across the West. With plain clothes, sharp eyes, and a quiet presence, Rangers became known for getting the job done when no one else could. Today, the Texas Rangers are a division of the state's Department of Public Safety. Only about 160 active Rangers serve in the entire state. That small number reflects just how selective the role is. To become a Ranger, candidates must have years of experience and an impeccable record. These men and women now investigate murder cases, public corruption, and major organized crime, often working with local departments that need extra help. In 2024, the Rangers solved a murder that had gone cold for more than 40 years. In 1982, Velma Nesset was found murdered in Odessa. For decades, the case remained unsolved, but using new DNA technology and genealogy databases, Rangers identified the suspect and tracked him to Colorado. He was arrested, returned to Texas, and sentenced to prison. The case showed that even after decades, the Texas Rangers do not give up on justice. The Ranger badge is shaped like a star inside a circle. It stands for honor, strength, and service, earned through action. Whether they are solving cold cases or helping in moments of crisis, Rangers continue to live up to that symbol. Did you grow up watching Walker, Texas Ranger? What do the Texas Rangers mean to you today? Share your thoughts in the comments. Share our new video on X to help us grow. Every share counts.